The tea house seems fairly standard from the outside, just an ordinary building with typical signs decorating the entrance. It looks like the type of place you'd walk by without a thought, just another generic cafe in a sea of thousands. If Hanako hadn't steered Lily into the entrance, I would have continued on down the road without ever knowing it existed. Inside the tea house, it takes on a more traditional feel. Everything seems to have been made from the same lump of timber, from the counter and benches to the high-back booths around the walls. But the most striking feature of the room is the lack of life. I think I can faintly hear something bubbling away in the background, but otherwise the room is silent. Without any direction, we simply wait near the entrance, politely obeying the "Please wait to be seated" sign. Finally, I ask, is this place closed or something? The sound of a chair falling over echoes through the empty room, and a head shoots up from inside a booth. "I wasn't asleep, and welcome to the Shanghai." Yuko, dressed in a pastel apron and clutching a menu, rushes to greet us. Her misaligned glasses and ruffled hair cast suspicion on her previous statement. But whether she was asleep or not isn't the first question that leaps into my mind. "You work here now? What happened to the library?" I ask. "What? Lily? Hisao? Welcome to the Shanghai." Yuko, still waking up, jerks into a violent bow, dislodging her glasses in the process. My glasses." As I pick her spectacles off the floor, Lily offers an explanation. "Yuko works here part-time as well as in the library. It's one of the reasons we like to come here." Yuko takes her glasses from my hand, shakily putting them back on. "Yes, that's right. Thanks. Shall I show you to your table? There's no one else here, so you can choose your table and order whatever you like, but there may be a delay as I will have to make it myself." "It's all right, Yuko," Lily says. "Just a pot of black tea and a plate of sandwiches will be fine." "Right, I'll get right on to that." Yuko hurries off to the back of the cafe, leaving us still standing at the entrance. She pushes the swinging half-doors open before realizing she hasn't seated us. I'm sorry. Please sit wherever you'd like. I'll be right back." Following her advice, I lead Lily to the nearest booth as Hanako follows. As I begin to sit next to Lily, I realize how appropriate this place is for Hanako. The high-back booths totally separate you from the rest of the room, and it doesn't look like it gets all that many customers. All of the furnishings, from the cushions on the benches to the condiment holders, look dated but aren't overly worn. I wonder if Lily deliberately selects places like this to take Hanako. She seems like the type that would go to lengths to cater to Hanako's unique predicament. "So, Hisao, I didn't know you played chess," Lily asks. "Well, not very well, but I do know how to play." I suppose the obvious question would now be, who won? Lily's innocent smile makes me hesitate. I don't really want to look like I'm lording my victory over Hanako. Hisao did. Hanako saves me from answering. "Yes, but not by much," I say. Damn, saying that out loud makes me feel like I've done something terrible. "Well done, Hisao. You've accomplished something I've only ever failed at." Thanks. I haven't played in ages, so it felt good to play again." "Yes, it did." Hanako fidgets with her hair a little and looks away as she replies, but a small smile emerges. It's a little more extreme of a reaction than I expected, but still kind of cute in that Hanako way. It throws me a little off guard, and only Yuko's cataclysmic re-entry shocks me back into conversation. "Are you all right there, Yuko? Do you need a hand?" I'm fine. I have to do this properly. It's my job. Concentration plays across her face while she stares at the tray in her hands, as if simply looking at its contents will hold them in place. Sadly, this doesn't prove all that effective. The cups and saucers slowly dance around, occasionally clattering as they collide with one another. Taking great care, Yuko sets the tray down on the table with only the subtlest of crashes. There, see? Well done, I say. Thank you, Yuko. Yuko's head rockets downwards in her distinctive bow before answering. You're very welcome. Would you like to join us, Lily says. There's something else I'd like to discuss about that recent order, if I may. Ah, that's right. Lily and Yuko were discussing a pile of books when I first met Hanako. Something about Lily helping with the Braille. Ah, yes. We didn't get the chance to go through them, did we? Yuko hastily sits down next to Hanako. Apparently, her dedication to this job only goes as far as her concentration. Once it's broken, she suddenly loses it. I'll be in the library tomorrow afternoon if you'd like to try again. That sounds perfect, Lily says. I'll meet you there after classes. Lily? Hanako interrupts. Oh dear, that's right. Tomorrow is Monday. How could I have forgotten? I'm starting to feel a little left out of the loop here. Then again, that's to be expected. I have been here for barely a week, so it's impossible to know everyone's schedule. Well, perhaps we could come to some other arrangement, Lily continues. Yuko, will you be in the library later in the week? Maybe, but this is already overdue. And there's some things I need, Hanako continues. This might be a problem, Lily says. She ponders for a second before discovering the answer. I wonder, might we be able to enlist the help of another, if need be? To do what, I say? You lost me quite some time ago. Being volunteered for something without even having the slightest idea what it is going on isn't really my thing. And here I thought I'd finally escape the clutches of the student council and their repeated attempts to recruit me. Oh, of course. The other day I was helping Yuko sort out the new Braille books in the library. But Hanako and I usually go shopping on Monday afternoons. It's quieter on that day than on the weekends. Last week we couldn't go because I was busy with the festival. I managed to slip away later in the week, but Hanako couldn't make it. Well, since I can't read Braille, I say, I'm assuming you'd like me to go shopping with Hanako. Correct. You were a great help to me the other day. I think I can handle that. Hanako, what do you think? If you wouldn't mind. Of course not. I'm still not familiar with all the stores in the area, so it sounds like a good idea. Okay, Hanako answers. Now that we have that arranged, shall we have some tea, Lily says. It's now that I realize our tea has been sidling idly by all this time, getting no hotter. It's my fault. Let me pour that for you. Yuko reaches out with shaking hands, but I intercept her. She looks in no state to be handling hot liquids. It's all right. I've got it. Since you're already made the tea and sandwiches, you've fulfilled your waitress duties, right? I guess. Yuko relaxes a little, but still watches eagerly as I share out the assortment. As I'm about to bite into the sandwich, a low, loud rumble can be heard, along with a flash of light from outside. Ah, I take it the show has started. Only now, looking outside, I realize that dusk has come and gone, leaving us in the peak of twilight. sparking tracers arc upwards, ready to explode in a floral shapes of fireworks. Let's go watch, Yuko says. Oh, sorry, Lily. Please, don't miss the show on my account. From what I've heard, this isn't a bad location to watch them from. With the exception of Lily, we rush to the window of the small tea house to watch the show. The strobe of colored lights plays across Hanako and Yuko's smiling faces, and for a second I forget to look out the window. In this totally new world, there are few things that don't change. I think that's why the school makes such a fuss over this festival. It's a chance to show the similarities between everyone. The show is over all too quickly. Fireworks are expensive, even for the most well-funded schools. Before we return to our tea and sandwiches, Hanako turns to me. Thanks for today. And tomorrow. That's okay, I tell her. I don't think that I could have faced those crowds either. On days like this, it's more relaxing to spend some time away from everyone, don't you think? Yeah. Anyway, we've been delaying this tea for far too long now. Let's get back. Sure. We return to the booth and our light meal. That sounded impressive, Lily says. Bigger than last year's, at least. Yeah, it was great. I've never seen them put on such a show. It gets better every year. I'm afraid, however, that during that time, the tea has gone cold. Oh no, let me make some more. This is my fault. Calm down, Yuko, I tell her. It's nobody's fault. I take a sip from my cup just to prove the point. This tea isn't too bad cool anyway, I say. It's like an iced tea. Really? Yes, really. If you add a bit of sugar, it's kind of nice. Are you sure? I'm positive. Now, why don't you sit down and we'll finish this together? Okay. Yuko doesn't seem convinced, but sits down regardless. She carefully measures out about 5 teaspoons of sugar and adds them to her tea. I said a bit of sugar. I know, but I like my tea sweet anyway. Curiously, I peer into her cup. As expected, hardly any of the sugar dissolves in the cold liquid. She stirs it twice before upturning the cup and drinking the contents, sugar and all, in a single mouthful. You're right. That's not bad at all. Good? I look back to Lily and Hanako, both of whom have finished their meal as I witnessed Yuko's personality in action. Not wanting to hold anyone up, I use her tactic and finish the remainder of my tea in a single swill. Well then, I say, it seems we're all finished. Should we head back now, or do we want seconds? Yuko's expression shows that this is quite clearly not a good idea. I think that it would be best if we got back soon, I say. We do have to get back before curfew, after all. Oh, that is a good point, Lily concedes. I'll meet you tomorrow, Yuko. I'll be looking forward to it, Lily. Goodbye, everyone. We make our way out of the small tea house and into the dark of the night. Lily and Hanako once again take point, but under the cover of darkness, Hanako seems slightly less stressed than she did on the trip here. We move against the occasional group of people emptying the school grounds, but Hanako seems to lead us along a few minor roads, avoiding the bulk of the crowd. Outside the dorms, the school seems strangely quiet when compared to the noise of the day. Well then, thank you both for today, I say. I think I learned a lot. You're most welcome, but I'm afraid that I really must be going. Today's been a long day. That's right. Lily spent most of today on her feet, and I can imagine that walking outside of the school would be pretty tiring for her. I feel a pang of guilt as I remember that I was probably the only one in the school that got up around 10 this morning. Sure thing, I say. Well, I'll see you both tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Hisao. Night. The girls returned to their dorms, and I to mine. Actually, now that I consider it, today tired me out as well. So we make it down to the Shanghai, where we have a dinner with three lovely ladies once more. Sometimes I wonder if the developers called it the Shanghai on purpose. It would really seem to be, in my viewpoint, as every time we come here, we seem to be getting Shanghaied into something. This time, taking Hanako down to town tomorrow to go shopping with her. Although it's a more pleasant type of Shanghai than whenever the dynamic duo are trying to get us into the student council. Then the fireworks break out, and we watch them from the window of the Shanghai before having to leave and return back to school and to the dorms before the curfew arrives. So we have plans to go on a one-on-one trip to town with Hanako tomorrow as we firmly start Act 2 now, and we will see how that plays out when we continue tomorrow.